Welcome to coverage of the Premier League clash. Good afternoon. We're bringing coverage of Burnley against Wolves today from the Premier League. I'm now turning to host Russ Freddy and I'm joined by commentator JB, George Stuttard. And you're listening to the commentary of the teams who just about to come out onto the field of play at Turf Moor. We're just getting all set and ready to go. The teams are just making their way out onto the field. Should be about to hand over to JB very, very shortly when the teams emerge from the tunnel. We've got some brilliant team news to bring you as well. One headline team news is that, if people want to know, to try and find out, Maxwell Cornet, will he be featuring today for Burnley? He's been featuring very, very well for Burnley in recent games. Will he be featuring again today, or will he not be involved at all today? Wolves making a few changes as well. We'll be getting ready to hand across to JB very, very shortly ahead of kick-off, so we can bring you that all-important team news. Is Michael Jackson, will there be a thriller in store for Burnley this afternoon, or will Wolves steal a march on them and climb up the table even further, or will Burnley get out of the bottom three ahead of the game between Everton later this evening? Who take on Liverpool this afternoon, which you can hear as well with Paul James a little later on. With the teams almost ready to come out and get ready for action, we'll hand over to your match commentator. He's over to JB.
Thank you very much, Russ. And it's nice to be back on the TCR, but commentating after a month-long absence. It was nice to be back on the airways a week ago for the semi-final hosting. But there's nothing better than doing commentary. Right, first of all, Maxwell Cornet, to answer Russ's question, is not in the 18 today because he's not in the 18. So he's played 2 games in a week, so he's not even on the bench. So the top scorer, or the joint top scorer with 7 goals, is not in the side. So as follows, it's Nick Pope in goal, Connor Roberts, James Tarkowski, Nathan Collins and Charlie Taylor at the back. Then it's Dwight McNeil, Jack Court, Josh Brownhill and Jay Rodriguez, with Matty Vidra and Val Weghorst, who should have had 2 goals in the week up front. As for Wolves, it's Jose Sarr in goal, Nelson Semedo, Willy Bolly, Connor Cody, Romain Saiz, Johnny Castro-Otto, João Moutinho, Leandro Dendonca, Raul Jimenez, Fabio Silva, and Wang. So, and of course, I'm on the bench. Hennessy, Lennon, Stevens, Lennon, Bardsley, Long, Thomas. They're just some of the Burnley substitutes. And for Wolves, Ruddy, Maiva, Eknuri, Maracat, Neto, Trincao, Cinquento, Totti, and Conde. The referee today is Anthony Taylor from Greater Manchester. The 2 assistants are Gary Bezic and Adam Nunn. David Coops, the 4th official. Mike Dean is on VAR. God help us all. So we're all set to go then at Turf Moor. This really the first part of a 3-part soap opera, relegation soap opera that we're bringing you this weekend on the TCR. Tomorrow it'll be Leeds United in action, and then later with Paul James, it's the Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton, and every Burnley fan will be tuning in to listen to that one. There's the referee, Anthony Taylor. Hasn't had to come too far from Greater Manchester, just a short hop along the M66 and over the hills through Rottenstall as the players take the knee to highlight that there's no room for racism in life as well as football. It's going to be Wolves in the old gold with black shorts to get us underway then here at Turf Moor. Critical game for Burnley. Can they back this up with a fantastic performance here at the Turf today? They certainly raised their game on Thursday night against Southampton, winning very handsomely, but Wolves will be a very different proposition. Not have any fears about that. And that's already is a foul throw in the opening 20 seconds. He's misthrown it, and now he should be giving that the other way to Burnley. He's gonna. Well, and that's a controversy. Well, if he's misthrown that, or he's foul throw, that's a foul throw in my eyes. But they've allowed Wolves to take it again. I don't understand why they've allowed that to happen. But anyway, the throw was taken, and there was a little bit of a good old-fashioned tangle of legs involving Jay Rodriguez. Ball out again for another throw in over on the far side. Burnley making that one change. So Matty Vidra in from the start. Michael Jackson. Oh, will it be another thriller at the turf tonight? Or today even? In the beautiful sunshine, not your typical Burnley weather. It usually rains up here in these parts this time of year. Connor Roberts has scored an absolute thunderbolt in the win on Thursday night against Southampton. Gets the ball forward. Now Taylor marches forward. Taylor looking to take on his man. Absolutely whips him for pace from the left-hand side. Good purposeful start. Brownhill in there. McNeil chips it forward. Vigors is there, the tall man. And McNeil's in there. McNeil might go all the way here for Burnley. They've made a good start there, the Claret, but here come Wolves now on the far side. And remember, their top scorer's only got 6. That's Jimenez and Prudence as Fabio Silva cuts in, but it's well blocked. Kirk breaks here to a Wolves player. Once more now, a chance here for 26. Wang now to try and get across in. He's whipped Connor Roberts, but then Roberts bites back, and then Nathan Collins gets it away. Ben Bees amongst the coaching staff. A lot of Burnley fans seem to think he's the manager. He isn't. It's Mike Jackson who's actually the man in caretaker charge at the moment for Burnley. So 2 minutes gone, and already it feels like a good open game. And remember, I've commentated on Burnley in my commentary career over 78 times. This will be the 79th Burnley game I've ever done as a commentator. And I've got to tell you that probably one of the most open starts to a Burnley match I've ever commentated on for a long, long time. So, because as you all know, under Sean Dyche, that he was very afraid at the time to let Burnley off the shackles. But under Mike Jackson, it's been a totally different story. Unbeaten in caretaker charge. A creditable point, I have to say. A creditable point against West Ham. Hold on.
Just appear to have lost JB for a second, so we'll just take over for it. So JB is back for us as Wolves have just knocked the ball backwards, and they've got it back to their goalkeeper now, and Sarr, who will look to play forward. He plays it to his centre back Willie Bolly, who knocks it down the line, looking for the run of Fabio Silva, who's been inside Charlie Taylor there, but Taylor, there's Tarkowski across then. Tarkowski does well to clear for Burnley, and Burnley will try and come forward over on the far side of the left, but he's out of play for a throw to Wolves. Good start to this game. It's Burnley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Fabio Silva there on the pictures as Wolves get ready for this throw in. He's gone backwards. And he's back into Conor Cody, the captain of Wolverhampton Wanderers. And now he's across to his partners. No, he's under play for a throw to Burnley. And Burnley will start to try and come forward again. It's Connor Roberts, the scorer from Thursday, with a wonderful strike from the edge of the penalty area. In that, the side where Burnley are attacking, he scored in. It was on 12 minutes, that goal. And he's throwing it down the line looking for the run of Jay Rodriguez. And Matty Vidra. I saw two Vigos. But now Wolves are coming over on that far side, and it's a wonderful run here now. Cutting inside, it's Semedo. How wide now? It goes. Ball in towards a penalty area. It was Fabio Silva in there. But Burnley managed to clear. He's with right Jay Rodriguez. Semedo close to following him. Back to Charlie Taylor. Down the line he goes to Vigorst. And he loses that, but Cork picks up. Can't get the ball through. It's Moutinho intercepts. Now Wang Yi-Chan. Wang. But plays up in support. Johnny Otto's in there. Clear went to Wang. Still going Wang. Back to Johnny Otto. Johnny Castro Otto. Shot is blocked. He comes back to Johnny Otto. Back again to Moutinho with the ball in. And Jay Rodriguez will watch the ball and just keep it in play. While Jimenez is for company. And a wonderful Cruyff turn there from Jay Rodriguez, but then he loses it to Jimenez, and now then Donker, and he's back inside the Wolves half with Saiss. Saiss will look forward, and now Wolves will try and come forward. 6 minutes gone here. Burnley nil, Wolves nil. If you just showing us here on the TC of Gus Brennan, signing as JB, having a few technical difficulties at this moment in time. We'll get back to JB once we can. As he's Moutinho once more. It's cleared away. And now it's with Size. As Wolves will come forward. Size with a poor ball forward, and it's cut out well by J. Rodriguez, who was in the ball forward looking for Vegas, and Vegas got control. We'll see Size pick up possession. Size knocks it back to Jose Sal, clear forward, and that's a wonderful ball from Jose Sal. Fabio Silva being held on to there by Tarkovsky, the referee doesn't think so, and Burnley through Charlie Taylor will get the ball forward to J. Rodriguez, back to Charlie Taylor, a former Leeds United man. So as we get back to JB, we will do. Here is Nathan Collins, who slips at that moment, and Wang Yi-chan's intercepted off him. Wang Yi-chan, ball into was Fabio Silva, cut out by Connor Roberts, and Roberts gives it away to Jimenez, whose team shot is saved by Nick Pope, and that was a team effort there from Wolves, and now Burnley will try go forward. Here's Brownhill to J. Rodriguez, whose ball can't go forward, and it's deflected out for a throw to Burnley. 7.5 minutes gone here. It's Burnley nil, Wolverhampton Wanderers nil. As we watch this match unfold, we'll get back to JB as soon as we can. We'll try and see if we can get him back in a moment or so. As Pope plays it out to Connor Roberts, and Connor Roberts will come forward over halfway. Connor Roberts with his fantastic run here. Connor Roberts into McNeil. McNeil cutting inside away from Johnny Castro Otto. Plays a wonderful ball out wide to Charlie Taylor. Taylor's been balling, looking for Matty Vidra. He's headed away in there by Connor Cody, and he's out of play for a throw to Burnley. Semedo just cleared it away as well. We're waiting to get back to JB, so I'll keep you informed. Here's Brownhill. Good play from Brownhill. Here's Rodriguez. Now Charlie Taylor. Taylor back to Rodriguez, but the offside flag was up against J. Rodriguez. And it's a free kick to Burnley. It's Burnley nil, Wolverhampton Wanderers nil. There's a few other matches taking place in the Premier League today. We'll keep you across those as well. Just to tell some early scores in the other 2 o'clock matches, as there's been, I think there's 3 2 o'clock matches today. There's been a goal in the game between Brighton and Southampton, and I can tell you it's Brighton 1, Southampton 0. It just took 2 minutes in that game for Danny Welbeck to open the scoring for the Seagulls. And it's Chelsea 0, West Ham United 0. We'll keep you across those 2 matches as this afternoon unfolds here on the commentary hub. We'll get back to JB once he has sorted the technical difficulties out he's having for us today. Burnley nil, Wolverhampton Wanderers nil is the scoreline. Gunnar Large watching on there. It's Jack Cork for Burnley. Cork knocks the ball down the line looking for Matthew Vidra. Sizes across there to clear. Into Connor Cody, who gets the ball forward. Connor Roberts cuts it out. But Burnley with J. Rodriguez battles for possession, and Rodriguez comes away with it. Here's Roberts. Here's Brownhill now. Josh Brownhill. Out wide to Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil puts inside. Still going Dwight McNeil. Into towards the penalty. McNeil goes for goal and just over. Cut inside there well from the right hand side to Dwight McNeil. And his shot was just bent over the bar and he went wide in the end. 10.5 minutes gone. It's Burnley 0, Wolves 0. And that's the best chance for Burnley in this game so far. McNeil cut inside. Away from Dendonk, away from Sass, away from Johnny. And it was a fantastic way. Burnley got fouled by Moutinho after he broke away from one. And then wonderful cut inside and a curling shot just over the bar there. Is Burnley 0, Wolves 0. If you just join us here on the TC Hub. We'll get back across to JB in a second, as his side's coming forward for Wolves, but Wolves being put under a bit of pressure. He's back with Connor Cuddy. We'll just see how this plays out for Wolves, and then we'll hand back over to JB, who we've now got back. And that's out to play for a throw to Wolves, and that's time to hand back over to JB.
Apologies there, just had 1 or 2 technical problems. But we're back live with you now on the TC Hub, direct from Turf Moor. You can never trust the hillsides to help you when you want to, do you? But it's lovely weather, still 0-0. Thankfully, no goals missed, so we're okay now. And Burnley really making a good start. It's been a good open field to the game. Both teams really attacking each other. Jack Corkers is there from Russ, going very, very close. And thank you for Russ for sending in for me there, as I lost a few technical stuff, as I lost some technical problems. But we're back live with you now. Apologies to everyone, but unfortunately, you can't really prepare for the unexpected happening when communications break down. Thankfully, we have presenters on hand to always step in when commentators lose connections like I did now. But everything's back up and running now, so let's hope we have a trouble-free rest of the game as Wolves win possession in midfield. And of course, Burnley now, this is one of the biggest games. Taylor had to time that well, because Wolves were really on a good attack there as we complete the 12.5-minute mark here on the TC Hub and all platforms on a Sunday afternoon. Remember, this is the first of 3 live offerings in the next 36 hours. Later on with Paul James, we've got Liverpool against Everton in that Merseyside derby, which affects the bottom of the table and affects the championship race, of course. And Liverpool really do need a result to keep their championship hopes alive with Manchester City's victory. And also they have a game in hand there. And Everton are costing the points for very different reasons. But the Burnley win could actually take them 2 points clear with a better goal difference. But they've got some defending to do. As Saiss and Bolly have come up from the back for this Wolves corner. Anthony Taylor not happy about 1 or 2 bits and pieces. And now the corner will come in from the far side. Here it comes. In it goes towards the area. Oh, Saiss was absolutely free at the back there. And the ball now comes back and it's into the penalty area. Headed away. And Saiss now takes possession, or Robert Dendonga, takes possession. And now Johnny Otto. Otto gets the cross into the penalty area, headed on, but it's going to fall nicely for Nick Pope, who made a couple of smart saves from Che Adams and James Ward-Prowse on Thursday night, and really has looked back to his best in recent weeks. In fact, that was his 45th clean sheet in Premier League football on Thursday night. Wolves, of course, up until a few weeks ago, were challenging for Champions League football. That obviously that outside ambition has seemed to have ebbed away, but they're still in the mix for a possible Conference League spot. Competition at Leicester has really thrived in recent weeks, and people like that. And here's a chance now for Wolves charging forward towards the edge of the area. Collins makes a good challenge. Ball played in. Ball deflects. It's almost pinball machine. Not a pass back, so Pope's able to take that okay in his arms. Even as the man going forward that time, as Nick Pope now has it in his hands. Pulls it out to the far side, to the left-hand side. Charlie Taylor now nods it forward. If you're joining us late, Jack Cork's come close for Burnley, but apart from that, really, nothing much to report. But what I can tell you, it's been an even start to the game with 15 minutes gone here at the Turf. Alan Pace, who, in a lot of respects, to a lot of Burnley fans, pushed the panic button last week, but the evidence was overwhelming. My opinion is that if he was going to make a change, he should have made it he should have made it last summer after the final game had been played of the last season. And that way Dyche could have gone out more gracefully, but only 4 wins all season under Dyche really did tell its own story, really. But I think it was very harsh the way he was treated towards the end, though, considering all the achievements he had. All played out to the far side here, and it's And it's not back once more. Then Donker's there, and good little dummy there from Collins. Good defending as well to hold off Raul Jimenez as well. Wolves starting to get a bit of possession now into the game. But it wouldn't be the same if Burnley were not under pressure now and again in a football match. But it has been obvious in the last couple of games under Mike Jackson that the shackles are well and truly off. And I think as bad that challenge that was for Ashley Westwood, and he's out for the end of the season. And that broken ankle, one of the worst sights I've seen for a long, long time. Took me back to the days of David Bost. But he got fingers. We look at the ball right on the top of the Bob Broadstand roof. Someone will have to climb up there a bit later on and get that ball down. Unless they've got one of those massive rods they can just poke from the ground. I don't know. And with today's technology, anything is possible. Anyway, here's number 19. Johnny Otto gets the ball back. And then the ball's not forward by Semedo, but the ball well and truly out of play that time, and will be a goal kick. In fact, it was Sice who tried to play the ball forward. As I said, just to remind you, a win for Burnley will take them 2 points clear outside the relegation zone as Michael Jackson and Ben Mee discuss things. If you're wondering who Michael Jackson is, for those who don't know a lot about him, he was a bit of a journeyman player, bouncing around Leagues 1 and 2 for a lot of his career, mainly at Preston North End. Took over a couple of years ago as the Burnley under-23-21s boss, and has done really good things with them in the last year or so. And he was the man given the task after Alan Pace had set the whole coaching team, not just Sean Dash, but Ian Whelm, Steve Stone and Billy Mercer, the goalkeeping coach. Ben Mee in there as well. Here's Vigos. Vigos trying the shot. And Jose Sá Darwin away to his right. Gets the effort in. I think it was Vigos. Looked a taller man. Anyway, the ball was knocked back into his path. In fact, Vigos played it into Vidra rather. And it was Vidra, in fact, who had the shot rather than the aforementioned Vighorst. Anyway, hard to tell, really. It's very high up. We've got the sun right in our eyes up in the stands here at the turf. On a very mild and very clear afternoon. Beautiful spring-like weather here. And even a point for Burnley will take them out the bottom three, because of their better goal difference than Everton. So, and Leeds, of course, are not safe themselves, but a win for Jesse Marsh's team could really put them surely too far ahead of fourth bottom to really worry too much. It will be a tough match for them tomorrow. But we'll just have to see how this next three games play out. Burnley then go to Watford next Saturday. But they need 3 points here today. If not a point, and losing is not an option here, because they know if they can get 3 points and Everton drop 3 against Liverpool, they're in with a real chance. Here come Wolves. Good save by the goalkeeper. It was Johnny Otto with a right-footed try, and the left-hand side, and Rob having to go away to his left-hand side. I knew at some point he would be required to make a save, and sure enough, it came in the 20th minute of this first half. Lovely crisp passing from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Otto got inside the area, shot to the left of the penalty box, and it was heading like a rocket into the corner, right-hand corner, but I think a couple of deflections there may have just helped Nick Pope make that save. And it will be a Wolves corner as we hit the 20-minute mark here at the turf. Wolves in charge. Certainly had the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes of play to themselves. Even though Burnley have threatened on a couple of occasions, ball not forward, that's going to run out. And that will be a Burnley goal kick. So we've hit the 20-minute mark. And Burnley 0, Wolves 0 here on the TCM and all platforms. So nice to be back commentating again. Been a month or so since I've actually done a live commentary. So it's nice there. But it's nice to be back in the groove again as Connor Roberts now has it on the right-hand side. Goes in field, knocked forward again by Nathan Collins. Wolves now have it. And Semedo now gets it out. Far side, still 0-0 here. If you just joined us on all the TCM platforms and TCM2 and Storm FM. And we're also on Twitch as well. And of course, the streaming app partner for the season is Melon Streaming App. Check their website out at melonstreamingapp.com. And of course, there'll be a player of the match to choose a bit later on during the game. We have 21 minutes of this very open Premier League encounter. And the ball now fed out towards Johnny Otto. And Otto now running to the byline, gets a deflection. And it will be a Wolves corner. And Wolves now starting to have a few of these corners. There's a few comments that I'll need to read out in a second or two when we get a breaking play. We'll do that in just a second or two. So Wolves' third corner of the game. Millie Bowie again forward from the back. So too is Romain Saiss. So too is captain Connor Cody. Raul Jimenez is just getting the ball for the corner to be taken. John Martinho is going to take it from the near side. As soon as we get a breaking play, we'll bring you those comments from Paul James and Laser Me. But I don't think we'll bother with that one. As Martinho now, the corner was taken short and then he put a cross in, which Nick Bolt was able to gather. Paul James said, well, just wait a minute because Rodriguez is on his way here for Burnley. Rodriguez is over the halfway line. Paul James will be your commentator for that Merseyside derby. Kick-off at 4:30, incidentally, on the TCO, again with Russ Vernon. But Paul says, you say from Nick Pope, and I don't think I can agree with you more. You've got every right as well, guys, to chat away to yourselves as well on the comment section. Just go on the comment section on any of our streaming platforms, whether it's YouTube or Twitch, and we'll get your comments through from whichever platform, and we'll read them out if we get a breaking play on air, Russ or myself, this afternoon. So, please feel free to stream your opinions on the game that you're listening to so far. We'd like to hear from you, the listener, as well, and let us know whereabouts in the world that you're listening to, so we can give you a little mention as well during breaks of play. Here come Wolves now. Very ambitious shot there, which goes well wide from Martinho, and a goal kick for Burnley as we hit the halfway mark of the first half. Here in this first of a relegation triple header here, involving this one here involving Burnley, second one involving Everton away at Liverpool in that Merseyside derby with Paul James. Mark Arneman will have Leeds' latest match tomorrow evening as well, but a Monday night game. As the Burnley fans there, all decked out in claret and blue. You walk through the streets of Burnley, and you won't see a Manchester United shirt. You will never see a Liverpool shirt. You'll always see claret and blue. That's the way life is in Burnley these days. It's just the way life is in these sort of parts. And we'll do, but that's just, as I say, Burnley, a very small town, 80,000 people is the size of the town itself, and a lot of them support the local football team, and it is really hard to see an actual Burnley fan supporting any other team other than Burnley. It's a soccer-bad town. The football club is always at the heart of the community. Has been for so many years. Really, as well. Other scores, just to remind you, elsewhere is Brighton 1, Southampton 0. That's Danny Welbeck scoring that goal. And we've got Chelsea 0, West Ham 0. Liverpool is a 4:30 kickoff. We're just having one or two problems again technically, but we'll try and stay with you as much as we can. And we haven't. We've just hit the wrong thing, but we'll stay with you. I thought we might go Tech 3, but our technical boys here at Turf 4 are having one or two glitches again. It gets a little bit frustrating sometimes. Let me tell you. But that's just the way the cookie bounces, I'm afraid. At this stage of the proceedings. Seems to be getting everything else other than the game that we should be bringing you at the moment. Just as I said, the technical people are just having one or two issues here. And in fact, we'll just go back to Russ Birding whilst we fix the Gremlins.
Thank you very much there, JB. We're back with JB as soon as possible, guys. Just having a few more technical issues as Burnley. The penalty with Vigos with a fantastic effort saved by Saab, but the flag is up for offside. He would have counted if that had gone in. 26 minutes gone. It's Burnley 0, Wolves 0. And Burnley going close again with Vigos. Well, Vigos is just offside. Couldn't time his run well, but Saar didn't know he was offside, and Saar come rushing out and made a superb save. Burnley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 as this ball is a forward to Bolly. Bolly will go back to Jose Saar, and Saar will hit forward. Here's Johnny. Good bit of play into one. And now for Fabio Silva. Fabio Silva inside the penalty. Silva's got space to goal, cleared away. And it's out for a throw. We'll get back to JB in a second after this throw in. As Burnley are on the back foot at the moment, and that was a wonderful bit of play from Wangi trying to set Fabio Silva in behind. And Fabio Silva couldn't keep it in. His throw gone back to Cody, and Cody will play forward. He finds Bolly. Bolly sends it forward, and Semedo's in behind, but he runs through to the pub. Look towards 27.5 minutes gone. It's Burnley 0, Wolves 0 as Taylor now has possession into Jack Cork, and Cork will take control now with Tarkowski to Collins, and Collins will look forward. Open game here so far. We'll have to go across to JB when we can. We'll go back across to him in a second, as here is a good bit of play from Roberts to try and get the ball forward. Inside to Jack Cork. Now Vigos coming close. Vigos now into McNeil. McNeil on the run for Burnley. What can Vigos do now? McNeil, lovely play. 1-2 with Roberts. He's cut out. Cork with the ball into the penalty area. He's just down by Jay Rodriguez, whose shot is just wide. 28 minutes gone. Burnley 0, Wolves 0. Back to JB.
Yeah, thank you. Correction, it's 28 minutes and 40 seconds we have here, and it's 0-0 as Jay Rodriguez just a moment or two shot wide. Apologies there. But we have the technical boys have been here at Turf Moor fixing that, and we're back underway again. And it's Wolves now in possession on the near side, inside their own half. And it's been a very open field. Burnley had a good couple of chances, but just haven't taken them. Good effort from Rodriguez. It was a half chance that just went wide of the target. Here's Cork now taking possession. Now the ball played out towards Connor Roberts. Roberts now running in from the right-hand side. Uses Cork. Gets it back now once again. Good football this from Burnley. Dwight McNeil playing on the right-hand side. Just couldn't skin his man. And here comes Martinho. Gets it out to Semedo on the far side. The Portuguese international. Nelson Semedo has to check back. Willie Bolly's the man on the ball now. Now Connor Cody, the inspirational skipper for Wolverhampton Wanderers, picks out Romain Saiz. The three centre-backs passing the ball around as a trio at the moment. 34% Burnley, 66% possession in favour of Wolves. They're doing they've had the dominance of the possession, but it's goals that count, and we've had none so far. 0-0 as we hit the half an hour mark here at the turf, as the ball's kicked away, right-footed, by Jose Saar, who'd taken over from Rui Patricio in the Wolves goal last summer. And Nathan Collins, the big centre-back, doing terrifically well. Now, Dwight McNeil on halfway, gets the ball back and uses Connor Roberts once more. Roberts looking to pick a pass, doesn't see many options, has to go to halfway. And Brownhill dispossessed. Then Cork dispossesses Fabio on halfway, gets the ball forward once more. The ball then ushered out for a throw halfway inside the Wolves half on the right hand side for Burnley. Romain Saiz clearing it into touch. Connor Roberts is going to take it. All action here in this opening half an hour. Burnley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Big game, more so for Burnley than for Wolves. Wolves already safe, but have an outside chance of Europe next season. as Weghorst and Rodriguez actually involved in the Weghorst tangles there. It looks like Rodriguez is playing on the left-hand side of midfield, and it's going to be, as we look at Bertie B there, the ever-faithful Burnley mascot. There's a lot of things that have changed at Burnley Football Club in the last 12 months, but some things never change. Bertie the B's always there. A great source of entertainment to the youngsters, the young Burnley fans here at the turf. But as I was saying, it's seldom you see a Manchester United or a Manchester City or a Liverpool shirt in this town. Claret and blue is the preferred choice of their football colours here in these parts. Here's Roberts, gets the cross in. First time, but it's just too close to Jose Sarr, who took the ball very cleanly, fell over, but held on to the ball very, very well. And Sarr now thought about rolling it out, but now he does, after checking a couple of times. He's found remain size just to the left of the penalty area, gets the ball away, down that left-hand flank. Ball breaks to Fabio Silva. Silva now has got Jimenez waiting in the middle. Burnley a little bit stretched, a little bit in attack. It's Fabio Silva shoots, deflects a couple of times. Referee happy that the blocks were legal and there was no hands used. In fact, there was no complaining from anybody in Old Gold. As the ball is now with Semedo, the former Barcelona player, and Semedo is fouled more instalments by Matty Vidra, Robin. I don't think was a yellow card. I think Semedo may have made a bit of a meal of that. I'd have to see a replay to have a look. He could have stayed on his feet for me, Semedo. I think he goes down a little bit too theatrically, and I don't like the way that footballers try and get their fellow professionals booked or sent off in that sort of fashion. Not something I agree with in the modern game today. Something I'd have a grumpy old head about. But it's a Wolves free kick. Far side, the right-hand side, the Wolves' right-hand side, as I say. Coutinho's going to take it from the far side. This is where Burnley have to stay really switched on as a defensive unit. Big moments in this game. Could be so costly. Remember, Josh Brownhill is 1 yellow card away from a 2-match ban as that ball was played in. Pope came and missed it, and in fact, it's a goal kick to Burnley. Well, Nick Pope can thank his lucky stars that no one else got a touch on that. And even more so a Wolves player, because if one of them had touched it, then I've got to say Wolves could and should have been in front. 33.5 and it's gone. It's still Burnley 0, Wolves 0. Maxwell Cornet nodding aside, sitting next to the chairman there, Alan Pace. I'm not sure whether it's just a precautionary measure, whether he picked up a knock in midweek, but he's not in the 18 today. But he's cheering on the lads, and that's good team spirit. As Pope gets it forward, a long high kick into the stratosphere, comes out. It was looking for Jay Rodriguez. Just needs to get the ball on the day. I'd like to see more of that free-flowing, attacking football that we saw to dramatic effect against Southampton on Thursday night. Rodriguez, edge of the penalty area. First touch was very heavy, and it allowed Connor Cody to boot it up the field, and Collins can get it all back to Pope, who had to juggle it on the by the penalty spot. He couldn't pick the ball up, so he had to juggle it with his foot, and he managed to get it away, despite the attentions of Raul Jimenez. And now Cork has it as Burnley launch another attack. Connor Roberts has it now. Back to Jack Cork. Just miscontrolled it somewhat, but does win a throw-in. Son, of course, of Allen. Off Wang. So McNeil leaves it to Connor Roberts. Dwight McNeil there, who came under a lot of pressure, certainly against Chelsea when they lost 4-0, and at 0-0 had two glorious opportunities to score in that game in the first half. And a lot of supporters gone on his back, no more so than I did. Here he is now, McNeil. Had a good game since coming on at Norwich, even though it didn't change anything too much about the score. McNeil, decent looking centre into the penalty area. Couldn't find Jack Cork. Jose Sarr, quick as a bolt of lightning, came out and did really well. Cork was there. Weghorst was there. Decent little cross that from McNeil, but maybe just a little close to the goalkeeper. But good positive football there from Burnley. That looked like a wrestling match there on Connor Roberts, and it has to be a foul there. Given against Wang. He absolutely, literally pulled him back. And I wouldn't be surprised in the least that if Anthony Taylor at least has a strong word with him, if not book him, because that sort of play, foul play, should not be allowed. And Wang knows this. And Anthony Taylor just making the point here He's coming across to Lee Rang Chan. I don't think he's going to book him, but he needs to be spoken to here. And I think that's a bit wrong when you book a player like Vidra for a first offence and then you book Wang for something like that when he's wrestled him clearly to the ground. Well, just doesn't make no odds sense to me, but never mind anyway. Here's Nathan Collins getting it forward. What a revelation he's been since coming into the side. All the times he's played. £12 million from Stoke. I actually thought that was a very good deal for a young, promising Irish centre-back. He's been he's a big fixture in the Republic of Ireland setup. Good defender. Stoke thought very highly of him when he was at the Bet365. And Burnley knew they were getting a good deal for £12 million. To get a good player of that quality for that sort of money these days, it's very seldom you see that. Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half here at Turf Moor. Apologies if we've had one or two gremlins this afternoon. Every time I commentate on the match with Turf Moor, a live one, it's always been beset by gremlins. But anyway, technical gremlins that is. Anyway, but we're back live and uninterrupted hopefully now for the rest of the game. And my big thanks to presenter Russ and producer Russ for stepping in and helping me out of the holes that we've got ourselves into. I'll be giving the tech boys a bit of a rollicking at half time. The boffins will be getting the sharp end of my tongue. Burnley nil, Wolves nil. Ball given away once more. Jack Cork now. Can Burnley try and get their noses in front before the break? They've looked very good on the attack. Good football again. Brownhill involved now. And look at McNeil in acres of space. Now, what can McNeil do? Cuts inside. McNeil shoots and Sarr has to tip it over. It was a terrific shot with the left foot from Dwight McNeil. And Jose Sarr, he asked the question of Sarr and he managed to flip it over the crossbar. He cuts in from the right-hand side, hits it left-footed. And it was a good effort, maybe straight down Sarr's throat a little bit. But having said all that, the effort from McNeil was really good. It creates a chance out of nothing. And that's what you want to see from players like Dwight McNeil. And we've seldom seen that from him this season. But that was the best of Dwight McNeil. And listen to the crowd now. They're getting right behind the Clarets now. And he just needs a spark of genius. Now, the Clarets scored from a corner kick, which opened the corner kick as well the other night. As the ball swings in, Burnley's specialty is the set plays. And the ball played forward. And, Nathan Collins trying to backheel it into no man's land. But the ball fell to McNeil, and then the ball is actually out off McNeil. And I think the flag had gone up anyway for offside and a free kick. I think we're having a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. So we're coming up to the last 7 minutes plus stoppage time and the end of a very, very competitive first half. Plenty of notes for Michael Jackson and for Ben Mee to be getting on here. Should it remain half-time? They'll have their team talk already planned. But as things stand, I think they will be moving out the bottom three on goal difference. Burnley nil, Wolves nil. But I think in an ideal world, Burnley will need 3 points. They'll earmark this as 3 points. Remember, Leeds and Everton have the tougher runnings on paper, but no football issue has been decided on a piece of A4 paper. It's got to be decided on the field. McNeil played a very poor ball. And straight to Jose Sarr, but he knows it. And here's Wolves again. Still 0-0. It's the first time Wolves have ventured into the Burnley half for some 7 or 8 minutes. Burnley have had a good spell. Wolves have had a terrific spell as well. But good saves from, first of all, Nick Pope and Jose Sarr kept the score sheet blank as the cross comes in from the right-hand side. It's going to be kept in here by Johnny Otto. Otto again for Wolves. Good side. They're very dangerous as well on the break. Let's not forget Saiz. And here's the ball spread forward, and that's given away really badly there by Fabio. And now Burnley could counter. And Brownell just lost his foot in at the crucial moment. It wasn't a foul. Anthony Taylor was right to play on. He just tripped over the ball, literally. McNeil now loses possession. And now the ball not forward. Now McNeil needs to just keep possession really well. In fact, it was Jack Cork, I should say. Now James Tarkowski. Tarkowski, who's the captain in the absence of Ben Mee, certainly from a playing side, but Ben Mee is present on the bench with Michael Jackson. Ball going past 2 or 3 players, and that's going to be a free kick to Burnley. Good football that from Charlie Taylor, as we are now inside the final 5 minutes of what's been a really good first half. Well, now this has been quite a good watch. And we've got an injury problem here for Jay Rodriguez, and I have to say now, this could be a problem. Medical staff there just seeing to it. And let's see what happened here. The ball was played into Rodriguez's path, and it was a jarring of the knee as he tried to control the ball. There was no Wolves player within a good 5 or 6 yard radius. Now this is a big problem. No Maxwell Corney in the 18, and it could well be Aaron Lennon that might come on here, and he could swap to the right, and it would mean that Dwight McNeil would have to go back to the left. So Mike Jackson has got a big decision to make at this point, as we're now into the last 4 minutes of the first half. Does he stick it out with Rodriguez until the break and reevaluate, or does he bring on Aaron Lennon? I think Rodriguez is okay to continue. And it did feel it was an innocuous sort of injury. The innocuous ones, I hate to put a damper on things, but the innocuous ones can be the worst. Aaron Lennon is there if need be. He's still got his training top on. Looks like Jay Rodriguez is walking around okay. And Lennon is going to warm up. So Mike Jackson just giving Jay Rodriguez some instructions. It is a free kick to Burnley. Rodriguez is still off the field. Burnley still temporarily down to 10 men. But the good news is I think Jay Rodriguez is going to be okay. The ball played in towards the penalty area. Breaks to McNeil on the right-hand side. McNeil looking to skid his man. He's got 2 Wolves players doubling up on him, which is not going to make things that easy. Cork now has it. Cork into the penalty area, looking for Big Horse. Tarkowski's up for the back, and he challenges with Jose Sarr, and Sarr wins, and Tarkowski needs to get on his bike here. And quick, because if he doesn't, then Burnley could be in a bit of trouble. But Sarr has delayed the taking of the throw out, and Burnley have been allowed to get in their positions. Jay Rodriguez is back on the field, and he's trying to jog it all off at the moment. It looks okay. Looks as if it's loosened up a little bit now. We'll keep an eye on that in the remaining couple of minutes plus time added on. I reckon there'll be at least a couple of minutes at the end of the first half, apart from the J-Rod injury. Nothing much to write home about in the way of too many stoppages. The ball played out towards Johnny Otto, who's in a bit of space. McNeil's back there with him, trying to do some good defensive work. Wolves still have it on the edge of the box with Wang, chipping it well to the far side. Bit of defending to Burnley to do at the end of the first half. Ball played across him. Roberts was there with Wang very much on the red alert there to tap it home from 4 yards. He didn't get there, and Burnley were caught out. It's a lovely cross from the right. It might have been Fabio Silva with the cross. But real problems there for Burnley at that moment in time. Last minute of the first half. 1 ball forward, headed on. And out comes Nick Pope. Does extremely well. Boots it out for a throw. Great play from Burnley there just to get it out. So we're inside the last minute of the first half. Let's try and work out that last chance for Wolves, because it was... The ball had come to Otto. Otto had been held up. Then Wang had it. Or Jimenez, I should say. Then the ball comes out to Semedo. Then the ball passed across, and it was, in fact, Semedo. It was Semedo into Fabio. He crossed back, and Connor Roberts got it away with, in fact, Raul Jimenez close on his heels. It's not easy to see in this sunlight. It's really hard to see, but... I think we're trying to make a decent fist of the commentary in very trying sunny conditions. Very warm down on the pitch level. There is quite a bit of breeze in the air. The humidity is quite good as well, as we hit just the 1 minute at the end of the first half. So apart from that J-Rod knee jar, apart from that, which he seems to be okay at the moment, seems to be running all right on it. Not much really in the way of stoppage. I think 1 minute is just about right, in fairness. As Taylor boots it out for another throw, but finds Vidra, in fact. I was expecting that to go for a throw-in. It caught me out there because usually it's Raul Z. So 30 seconds of the 1 minute to go. Both teams have had a very good few chances. Nick Pope and Jose Sarr had to make a couple of saves apiece. But really, it's been a good game of football despite the 0-0 stalemate. But don't be deceived that it's been a poor game. The fact that it's 0-0, it's the fact that both teams have gone for it and have found people like Nick Pope and the Burnley defence in very good form as the referee, Anthony Taylor, does bowl for half-time. So, Mike Jackson, look at that. That's a signal of intent there. Mike Jackson, as soon as that whistle went, is going straight down for the tunnel. And you could tell that he wants to get his troops in ASAP to get a few words of encouragement to them at half-time. Nick Pope and Jose Sarr had to make a couple of saves or two between them. It's been a very open first half, but at half-time here in this massive game, certainly for Burnley more than it is for Wolves, it's Burnley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.
Thank you very much there, JB. We're back with JB. Plenty enough time for the second half. It is also goalless at Stamford Bridge, where it's Chelsea against West Ham. In the other Premier League game, it is 2-0 to Brighton of Albion in first half stoppage time there. Danny Welbeck and Salisu goal with the goals for Southampton, with Roman Perraud for Southampton having to come on for Valentino Livramento, who went off injured just before half time. And speaking of that, Southampton in the final minute of the first half have pulled one back, and it is that man, James Ward-Prowse, in the 45th minute. 45 plus 5 is Brighton 2, Southampton 1, with the goal for Southampton. And it was a horrific injury by the sounds of it for Valentino Livramento at the Amex for Southampton today. That is 2-1 to Brighton at the break. We'll go through some other scores in a few minutes when we return after this short break here on the commentary of It's Burnley 0, Wolves 0 in our featured match at 2 p.m. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the Premier League encounter between Burnley and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's go through some other matches which are taking place this afternoon in the world of sport. In the Women's Super League, to tell you about at half time, it is Manchester City 3, Leicester City 0. It is Reading 0, West Ham United 0. And on 24 minutes scoring the game, it is Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0. Ingle with the own goal, Sophie Ingle with the own goal there, has given Tottenham a 1-0 lead. The goal scorers for Manchester City are Caroline Weir, Lauren Emp, and there's a goal for Julie Blackstad as well. Later on in the WSL, it's Aston Villa versus Manchester United and Everton against Arsenal. In the Women's Championship, finished Blackburn 0, Charlton 3, Ross, Forest and Uchen with the goals all in the first half. Finished Durham 3, Sunderland 0, Lambert, Bradley, Eppel with the goals. Liverpool 6, Sheffield United 1, Stengel, Keenan, Lawley, Stengel, Kearns, Matthews, with Wilson on target for Sheffield United. Coventry United and lose. Women are drawing 0-0 at the break, and Crystal Palace are beating Watford by 2-0 sharp with a brace. Later, kicking off in about 5 minutes' time, it is Bristol City versus London City Lionesses. In the Champions League, Women's Champions League, in their semi-final, in the first leg, which was played on the 22nd on Friday evening, it finished Barcelona 5, Wolfsburg 1, and at 4 o'clock today, Lyon take on Paris Saint-Germain. In Ligue 1 in France, Rennes thrashed Lorient by 5-0. 10-man Rennes as well, I should point out. Clermont 0, Angers 2 is at half-time scoreline, as is Metz 0, Brest 1, Nantes 0, Bordeaux 2, and Nice 0, Troyes 0. Lille v Strasbourg is at 4 kick-off, while Reims and Marseille kick off at 7:45. Also in the German Bundesliga today, Bochum 0, Augsburg 1 after 27 minutes, while Hertha Berlin take on Stuttgart at 4:30. And yesterday, Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga after their thrashing of Borussia Dortmund by 3-1 yesterday. In the Italian Serie A, as a result in 2 half-time scores to tell you, it's Salentina 2, Fiorentina 1 as a result. In the half-times, it's Bologna 1, Udinese 1, and Empoli 0, Napoli 1. Genoa v Cagliari is a 5, while Lazio against AC Milan is a 7:45. In the Dutch Eredivisie, Willemsvee against Vitesse, we finished 1-0 to Willemsvee against Vitesse Arnhem. Feyenoord and Utrecht are currently being held each by a goal. Is 1-1 in there. And Groningen against Hercules is 1-0 to Hercules. Both of those games between Feyenoord and Utrecht and Groningen Hercules is into the second half. Fortuna Sittard versus Go Ahead Eagles is a 3:45 p.m. kick-off. In the Portuguese League, there's 2 matches later on, both kick off. One kicks off at 6, the other one kicks off at 8:30. In the Russian Premier, Kazan 1, Arsenal Tula 0, Kimiki 4, Samara 1, FK Rostov 1, Sparta Moscow 1, while CSK Moscow are playing in the Moscow Derby later. They're taking on Dynamo Moscow. That's at 5:30 p.m. UK time. In the Scottish Premiership, Ross County 0, Celtic 1 is the latest score. In the Scottish Premiership today, Kyogo Furuhashi, the Japanese international, with the goal on 12 minutes set up by Yota. While Dundee United take on Hearts at 3 p.m. this afternoon. In La Liga this evening, Barcelona take on Rayo Vallecano. That's at 8 p.m. UK time. In the Swedish League, Allsvenskan is Stockholm 1, Djurgården 0, and Växjö 1-0. Järby 0 at half time. Helsingborg v Aken kick off at 4:30. In the Major League Soccer, some results to tell you about from earlier in the night. Overnight, DC United 3, New England Revolution 2, Austin 3, Vancouver Whitecaps 0, Sporting Kansas City versus Columbus Crew, Colorado Rapids v Charlotte, Portland Timbers v Real Salt Lake, all ended goalless. It was a 7-goal thriller between San Jose Earthquakes and Seattle Sounders earlier, and that finished San Jose Earthquake 4, Seattle Sounders 3, and Los LA Galaxy beat Nashville by 1-0 earlier on. Inter Miami take on Atlanta United at 6, Orlando City take on New York Red Bulls at 8:30, FC Cincinnati take on LAFC, Los Angeles Football Club, at 10 o'clock, and also at 10 o'clock is New York City taking on Toronto FC. Elsewhere in the world of football today, just before we get ready to hand back over to match commentator JB for the second half between Burnley and Wolves in our featured match at 2 o'clock, there was a sacking in the Championship, in the EFL Championship, and that saw Barnsley sack Poya Asbaghi as their head coach, with Ferran Sibler being sacked as well. He was the assistant to Poya Asbaghi, which means Martin Devaney now takes charge of first team affairs, and he's going to be assisted by Tom Arben and Joe Lorman for the remainder of the 2021-2022 campaign, starting with Tuesday night's visit of Blackpool to Oakwell. Barnsley will have also got, I think it's just 3 more games left to play at the end of this season, starting with Blackpool, and then they play one on Saturday, then one the following Saturday as well. So the Championship season coming to a close. They play Blackpool on Tuesday 7:45, Preston at Oakwell at 12:30 on Saturday, then the following Saturday at 12:30 we're away to West Bromwich Albion to finish their Championship campaign after they were relegated on Friday. A special good luck to all the players up for awards in the EFL Awards later. William United striker Michael Smith is nominated for the EFL League One Player of the Season, and he's up against Scott Twan of MK Dons and Barry Bannon of Sheffield Wednesday. The result is going to be announced this evening. You can find out the results of the EFL Awards later by watching it online. Just head to the EFL website to find out where you can watch that online this evening, and I'll go through some of the award nominees later. But right now, the teams are just emerging from the tunnels. Here come Wolverhampton Wanderers and some of the Burnley backroom staff. So the teams are just emerging from the tunnel for the second half. We'll bring you up to date with all the nominations for the EFL Awards later. Wolves are back, Burnley are already back out, Wolves are now back out, the officials coming back out shortly as well. So the only thing I need to do now is hand you over to your match commentator for the second half. It's over to you, JB.
Yes, thank you very much, Russ. And as you hand back to me now, the players are heading out under the game. I've just seen Jose Sarri on there. But decent first half. Nothing as of the velocity of the fury of the Tyson Fury Dylan White fight last night, which is I just want to say before we start the second half, well done to Tyson Fury. What a fantastic peach of a right uppercut that was to knock Dylan White over. I was only one round out in my prediction. I reckon Fury had knocked him down in 5. In fact, it turned out to be round number 6. So I wasn't far wrong in my prediction there for the last one. But can Burnley do a Tyson Fury and knock out Wolves in this second half? Well, the way Michael Jackson was going about his business, it looks as if he was preparing for something of that sort. Just to remind you of the teams, it's Pope for Burnley, Roberts, Tarkowski, Collins, Taylor, McNeil, Court, Brownhill, Rodriguez, Vidra and Vickers, Hennessy, Lowton, Bardsley, Long, Thomas Stevens, Lennon, Costello and Barnes are the substitutes. Wolves, Jose Sarr, Nelson Semedo, Bolly, Cody, the captain, Saiz, Otto, Montinho, Dendonka, Jimenez, Silva, Fabio Silva and Wang, Ruddy, Huva, Nuri, Martial, Neto, Trincao, Trinkenko, Totti and Cornet are the substitutes. Referee Anthony Taylor prepared to get us underway. Burnley and Corridon Blue gets us underway. They're attacking the Jimmy McElroy end away to my left-hand side. Wolves attacking where their supporters are. I'm in the cricket field stand, now renamed the Barnfield stand for sponsorship purpose after the local building company around these parts. So we're underway. Both teams, as I said, unchanged from the first half. Jay Rodriguez seems to have and we've got a problem here early doors for James Tarkowski. Let's hope that's nothing too serious. I've just felt one in the old groin, but he'll be okay to get back up and running again. So we'll have to go to whack on Fabio Silva's flailing foot. As Wolves now have position. Oh, have a throw in just about 20 yards inside the second half. Ball knocked back once more. And once again, Burnley come away with the ball. Knocked forward once again. Burnley just a little bit off the pace. Vidra making a good run, but the ball through wasn't good enough. Willie Bolly was able to cut that out. Now Fabio comes forward and he goes flying like a... in fact, the referee's allowed it to go on, and maybe the advantage might actually suit Burnley than it will suit Wolves, because Wolves have got it... I mean, they forced Wolves out to the far side, so the referee may have to go back and book a Burnley player for that, and I'm hoping and praying it's not Josh Brownhill. Vidra gets possession. The opportunity has gone for Wolves. He had an advantage, they just didn't use it enough. Vidra goes in there, another committed challenge. Again, the referee very reluctant to start blowing the whistle again. And he lets the game go on. Here come Wolves again with Wang, or rather Jimenez, running towards the penalty area. Jimenez running virtually on challenge. Fabio is in there. And Tarkowski got a foot in. Now Brownhill. And I sincerely hope he didn't make that challenge, because the referee could be liable to bring that back and the ball played forward. And it's going to be with the goalkeeper once again. It was looking for Dwight McNeil. McNeil couldn't actually get on the end of that. And really disappointing move there from Burnley. But another good open field to the second half. Burnley, of course, as things stand, will be out of the bottom 3. Mind you, Everton still to come later on. They've got that Merseyside derby away at Anfield. And at the moment, Liverpool, the way they're playing, a lot of people would not back against Liverpool completing a double over them. They won very easily at Goodison Park in the first game back in December, which me and Russ Vernon had the privilege of doing a duo commentary on for the TCO, and it was a great match to watch. And unfortunately on the night, Everton were poor. In those days they were managed by Rafa Benitez, and since then he's been sacked. Frank Lampard hasn't really had the desired effect. There have been some decisive wins, more notably against Manchester United in the last couple of weeks. And Burnley got forward and the ball's gone in the back of the net, but the whistle has gone for an offside against Patty Vidra, and the goal will not stand, and it remains Burnley 0, Wolves 0. The flag was up for offside. I must admit I took my eyes off it for a second. Now, was he offside? The first thing, yes, he was clearly off by some 2 yards. Vidra, really brainless football there. He knew straight away, and that's a telltale sign that he was offside. He couldn't get away with that, and in the end it is now. And in fact, Russ has just presenter Russ has just told me that Brownhill will no longer, in fact, serve a 2-game ban because the cut-off point has been in good. Well, thank you for reminding me about that, Russ. I forgot about the cut-off point. Oh, it's that time of the season where there's so much going on, you can't take your eyes off it for a second. As Tarkowski, another committed challenge on the edge of his own penalty area, timed it superbly to perfection. 3 minutes gone in the second, 4 minutes almost gone in the second half. Burnley have had the ball in the back of the Wolves net, but quite rightly it wasn't given because Vidra was at least 2 yards offside as that ball was played forward. He had 2 bites of the cherry, admittedly, but if he's off, I mean, I'm not going to say it. I'll say it once and I'll not say it again. If the linesman knows he's offside, put the flag up promptly. It gets irritating for everybody in the ground, players, commentators, supporters alike. If he's offside, scrap what VAR want. Let's just get on with the game and just say, right, if he's offside, put the flag up straight away, blow the whistle. Right, let's get on with the game. It's Michael Jackson, or Mike Jackson. A lot of people around Burnley are calling him Mike Jackson rather than Michael Jackson because obviously they don't want to get him confused with the King of Pop, of course. And it's sometimes it's very hard to fathom what does happen here in this game. But we've had a terrific game of football. Just needs a goal or two to light the blue touch paper a little bit at this moment in time. But been a good first half, but both sides looking for a Tyson Fury punch as Wolves come streaming forward again, and they've got a chance here, and a great save from Nick Pope. Terrific save from Nick Pope to deny Nelson Semedo getting the ball away, and that's a great piece of goalkeeping by the Burnley goalkeeper. Not for the first time this afternoon, called upon to make a save, and it was the former Barcelona man who got the right-footed shot off. And it will be a corner kick to Wolves on the near side. We've got some comments flowing in. Paul just agreeing with me on that offside rule as that ball comes in once more. And Burnley can get it out. That's surely got to be a free kick. Anthony Taylor, quick as a button. And it's not often I praise him for that. In fact, I praised him last week for the way he handled Kai Havertz when he tried to cheat Carlos out of a penalty in that semi-final, you may remember. And, well, that's a fair enough decision. Wang, that's his second offence. Still no booking. Keep my eye on him for the rest of this second half, I think. So Pope with the free kick. As Burnley and Wolves look to slug it out. Burnley needing the points. They know that a win here will take them out the relegation zone and significantly 2 points clear of Everton. And also a better goal difference, which really actually counts as an extra point in point of fact. So Burnley effectively could be 3 points ahead of Everton with that better goal difference. And if Everton should take a pounding today, then Burnley will be in a very good place by this time tonight, providing they take care of their own business, of course. We're live on the TC Hub, all platforms. We're on TC Hub 2 as well, and Storm FM and JDAC Football. And we're also on Twitch as well. So we're on. He's participating. We'll all be back on JB Sports for the new season. Just to remind you that JB Sports listeners, JB Sports subscribers, we will have Commentary Hub stuff back on the channel in due course over the summer in time for the Women's European Championships, which take place on the 6th of July. So JB Sports listeners can pick up the coverage by then. Because my two copyrights, well, one of my copyright strikes are down. My second one will be long gone by then, so we'll be able to transmit TCO coverage back on JB Sports for that Women's European Championships. Remember, we've got the Cup final coming up. We've got the climax of the Premier League season. We've got the Champions League final and all the big European finals coming up on the TCO. As this season comes to a climax, Nathan Collins has taken one in the face. Looks like the cheek. Let's have a look at what happened there. It was Fabio involved. And let's just see what happened there. I don't know what he was complaining about. I didn't see Fabio, unless he bumped him innocuously. I don't know, but Collins is not happy. He's not an happy chappy. He feels that he's been wronged here a little bit. And he's giving it to Wolves where I can't see why he's giving it to Wolves. Anthony Taylor, for the life of me. If he's a free for approved referee, I don't know who he is. Still 0-0 here in this critical game for Burnley as they look to get out the bottom three. They've had so many chances over the last 2-3 weeks to get out the bottom three, but have failed on each occasion under the previous manager, Sean Dyche. Now, can they do it this time under the guidance of the interim manager, Michael Jackson, former Preston North End player? Here's Tarkowski knocking it forward. Now Jack Cork has it in midfield, looking to get the ball forward halfway. Has Connor Roberts in a bit of support. Connor Roberts now has to cut back inside. The Welshman does really well. He has to go back again to Tarkowski. But having said all that, patient football from Burnley. And then again, like this, patience is the key. 0-0. The game very much in balance. There's still 35 minutes of this to go, so there's plenty of time for Burnley to be patient, not get too ahead of themselves, not to do anything stupid. And when they get a chance, take that chance. They can't afford to make stupid mistakes. Tarkowski nearly did, but Brownhill gets him out of a hole. Here's Nathan Collins, who's never let anyone down in a Clarence and Blue shirt this season. He's really given maximum effort in all of his games that he's played this season. Here's Charlie Taylor, who had a lean spell under Dyche, but again, there's just no body trying to show up further forward, and Burnley are having to go backwards. It's frustrating everybody, but this is where the 12th man should come into play and make it so difficult for Wolves. 10 minutes gone in the second half on all TCF platforms, on YouTube and on Twitch. Burnley 0, Wolves 0 in this critical Premier League encounter. 3 points for Burnley would be so priceless. Not only that, take them out the bottom three and get the 2-point cushion effectively free with a better goal difference should Everton take a tonkin at Liverpool later on. You'll be able to hear that with Paul James at 4:30 on all TCL platforms. Here's Collins now, and he can't find Roberts. Roberts just delayed, and by the time it reached his vicinity, Wolves had already intercepted. That's poor play. And here comes Wolves again on this far touchline, and now that should be Tarkowski's in his. Tarkowski with a good slide challenge. And he's made those to a tee. I'm not sure if he'll be staying at Burnley beyond the summer, but I tell you what, for the time Burnley having in Claret and Brew, he'll be expected to give 100% commitment and 100% effort to whatever comes his way. And it's a Wolves throw. Now then, what can they make of this? Premier League football, double header, then Leeds tomorrow, coming up for you tomorrow evening. Should be a crack at that one. Leeds involved as the ball's not forward, and that's going to be a Wolves corner. And now it's going to be back to the wall now for the next 34 minutes plus stoppage time. Going to be tense. It's going to be tough. There's tension around the place. Wolves' 5th corner of the game. Burnley have had the one. Burnley have got to stay switched on now. A point still would not be a disastrous result, but a win would be even better. They can't afford to lose this game. Matinho, the ball just about on the quadrant. Another angle, it would be very suspicious as if it wasn't on the quadrant. Corner came in, shot back in. Again, Burnley get the blocks in. Rodriguez hooks it out. Looks to get Vidra away. This guy's got pace of Burnley, and he'll get there, Vidra. And then a Wolves defender got back there in the nick of time. It may have been Willie Bowie who got back, or maybe Conor Causey actually, who got back there and stopped him from going any further. But Burnley do look a dangerous side when Matty Vidra is on the ball. He's probably one of the more pacey strikers in the Burnley qualitative strikers they've got. And you include Jay Rodriguez, Ashley Barnes, and Vighorst. And Vighorst really hasn't featured too much. You have an attacking option in Ashley Barnes, who hasn't scored yet this season. And his season really has been very injury blighted. As Burnley win another free kick, Josh Brownhill, the man, fell to the ground. Trying to do 1 or 2 step overs there. Raul Jimenez, I felt that time was the offender. So Dwight McNeil's going to take the free kick. Him and Charlie Taylor are the 2-man committee. In fact, make that 3 because I'm not sure who else is going to take it. McNeil's definitely taking it, I think. Taylor's gone away. Brownhill's still on the ground receiving treatment. Or just tying his laces, I think, more than anything else. Free kick then to the Clarets. Into the penalty area it goes. Header 1 inside the penalty area. Breaks out. Wolves don't get it away well, but will get away with it this time. And then a good committed chance from Vidra. Nothing wrong with that one on Raul Jimenez. Vidra to the byline. Oh, what a waste. What a waste of a pass. He had options in the middle for a cross, and he went back inside. And I think, really, when he looks back at that, Matai Vidra, that was the wrong option at the wrong time. He just had to put it into the box and hope, really. I think that was the best thing he could have done under the circumstances. But he tried to go back inside, and I don't think that was the right option at that particular moment in time. Here's Nelson Semedo for Wolves. Uses Fabio. Semedo makes the run. Semedo gets the ball back on the right-hand side. Raul Jimenez is now going to the right-hand side. Has taken up a prominent position. Elsewhere, good game at Brighton. 2-2 in that South Coast derby with Southampton. Welbeck and Salisa with an own goal. Ward-Prowse with the brace. Chelsea 0, West Ham 0 in the other game. Out comes Pope and does really well. Liverpool, Everton 4:30 kickoff live on TCL with Paul James and Russ Vernon as well. Russ Vernon on a double shift today of hosting. Then it's Mike Harneman with Leeds United tomorrow night as they play their match. And if Russ can remind me who they're playing, that would be a great help. Here's Charlie Taylor now for Burnley, 0-0 as we've hit the 60th minute mark of the game. Good football here, but still no breakthrough. But Burnley at the moment would be out the bottom three on goal difference as things stand. But a win would be even better because the pressure cranks on Everton as each minute goes by. It's Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park tomorrow. We'll have that covered for you live with Mike Harneman at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Here's Fabio inside the area. What they don't want to do, Burnley, is concede at this moment. Clean sheet is important as well, but also every point is precious at this stage of the season. Very little games remaining, precious points to play for, and every point at this stage, what you get is a very precious point as we've hit the 60th minute mark here at the turf. It's going to be tense, it's going to be grudgy, but it could well be that one goal for Burnley could do it. But they need to be on the ball always right now until the end of the game because they cannot ill afford to make any more mistakes. Wolves will punish. They're a good enough side under Bruno Lage. Mid-table they may be, but they're a dangerous side. And on their day, they can cause problems for just about anybody at this stage. So beware. Will be the message now. But I'm absolutely sure here this critical game, which really does involve both ends of the spectrum, as far as the Premier League table is very much concerned. And really, it's going to be tight. So just to remind you of the games later, let me just remind you that Burnley are in action at the moment. We've got that live for you for the last sort of half an hour or so. Then when we're finished here, it'll be all eyes on not Goodison Park, but on Anfield at 4:30 for that Liverpool match. That big game at the wrong end of the table for Everton. They need 3 points in that. And it's a goal, I think, has been scored. A goal for Burnley. A goal for Burnley. It was a wonderful ball played in, and it's Matty Vidra who gets inside the 6-yard area. What a priceless goal that could prove to be. Twangman nearly laid the ball in. The ball was knocked back across the goals, and Burnley have scored. And it's Matty Vidra after 62 minutes. Well, that really does now put the cat amongst the Burnley pigeons, because now if the score stays the same way, we're now going to have a 2-point cushion. Burnley will have a 2-point cushion, but they needed to score that first goal, and they've got it. Oh, what an important way. What an important moment for the Clarets. The fans are going crazy here. This now really does crank the pressure truly on Everton's door now. Frank Lampard, having to prepare his team for a Merseyside derby, will now have learned that Burnley have gone in front after 62 minutes. Matty Vidra, who's coming to the side in place of Maxwell Cornet, has now just scored a crucial goal in Burnley's season. And how crucial will that prove to be come the final reckoning in 3 weeks' time? Who knows? Rodriguez is off and Ashley Barnes is on. Looks like J-Rod's, they don't want to risk J-Rod anymore for injury purposes, but that really now gives Burnley that impotence now and something to cling to. Who's going to crumble now? Wolves had their chances, but Burnley have taken theirs. Matty Vidra poking in from 6 yards. Here's Vidra now on the ball. Barnes takes over. How he could score now. Reminds me of a similar game 3 or 4 years ago when they were fighting to stay up and beat Wolves 2-0. Dwight McNeil, I remember, scored an absolute peach towards the end, and it was a very big win that time because it kept Burnley in the division when it was a poor start to the season with the European tour going so badly wrong, and then it got worse when they were beaten 5-1 on New Year's Day that season by Everton. But are we seeing a similar strong jaw performance under Mike Jackson? As a Wolves player gone down and a free kick has been given to Wolves. Well, now we've got a match with a vengeance. There's no two ways about it now. Wang was the man or was the man fouled? But now, this really now, there could be a thriller happening at Turf Moor. Paul says, what a vital goal. Burnley need to stay organised now and reach down and find that solid defensive form they've shown in the past. Well, that was their first shot on target of the second half, and they've scored from it. Wolves have had 4 of them, but still haven't been able to find a way past Nick Pope. Chest down by Taylor, but Burnley have got the lead. That's crucial. And now Taylor's won it, but he's won it illegally, says the referee, and I don't think there's anything illegal at all. But there you go. So 25 minutes still to play. Burnley 1, Wolves 0 on the TC Hub. In association with the Melon Streaming app. Check out their website at www.melonstreamingapp.com. Burnley 1, Wolves 0. Jimenez now on the right for Wolves. Cuts inside. Wolves trying to looking for this equaliser. Burnley, as things stand, will move 2 points clear of the relegation zone with a better goal difference. But they've still got to be organised for the remaining 24 minutes plus stoppage time. We're nearly halfway mark for the second half. But how important that goal could well prove to be. Vigor set up Vidra. It was Vighorst that sent the ball back towards Vidra. Good football that from Vighorst. Hard to say up in this commentary box because we've got the sun really down on us, so it's very difficult to see who is who, but we're making a decent fist of this, I'm telling you. Under trying circumstances, both with the technical gremlins and the sunshine. And Wolves have reacted, as I thought they might, by making a substitution. Or about to make one themselves. And it's Fabio that's gone off. So Fabio off. And on in his place is Neto, who can score goals. Neto, in fact, who has got... I'm trying to think how many he's got this season. I don't think he's got many. I haven't got him down on my top scorers list. I don't think he scored this season. But the goal from Vidra, that's his second of the season, I can tell you that. So Vidra's only his second goal of the season, Matthew Vidra, but what a crucial one it could prove to be. 67 minutes gone, halfway through the second half. Burnley 1, Wolves 0. In an absolute bamboozle of a game. If Burnley can hold on, get the points, what a fillip that will be going into Watford next week, knowing that Watford are as good as down after being beaten to a pulp just down the road at Eastlands yesterday by Manchester City. But it's still anyone's game at the moment, with it being 1-0. Burnley have got to stay strong defensively, and they are doing it at the moment. No foul. Referee plays on. No penalty. They will check it on the VAR, but I don't think Mike Dean will want to give that one. And yeah, Gun Burnley now just trying to tidy things down and just settle everything down now. They've got the lead, which they fought very hard to get. Now they've just got to keep it. Ashley Barnes knows he's just got to play ugly now. He's just got to do his normal game and just play as ugly as he can now, because this is important part of the game now, because Burnley know that 3 points down would really give them a real fillip and really crank up that pressure on Everton, who kick off at 4:30 live on the TC Hub against Liverpool in that Merseyside derby. And that's again making ill afford to lose in so many ways. They've got to get a result now. If Burnley hold on and win, then Everton have got no other choice. They have to go for the victory themselves. They have to do. It's that or nothing, really. So it's really important now that Burnley don't concede themselves. They've got to stay tight. They've got to stay disciplined defensively. They can't afford to let anything slip at this moment in time. They are a good side, Burnley. They've found that defensive strong jaw so many times over the years. Now they've got to find it all over again. And at least they've gone the right way about it this time round. Burnley 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 is the scoreline. You're listening to the TCR, but we're just having one or two technical glitches, but we'll stay with you as we try and sort out things with the tech boys. But what I can tell you is that Matty Vidra has scored. It's 2-2 elsewhere in the game at Brighton, and it's 0-0 between Chelsea and West Ham. Chelsea really must have got the deck chairs out very much already this season, because they know they're in the cup final. They know a Champions League place is as good as assured. And now it's just a question for Tuchel's men. They're just playing through the motions at the moment. But I think they should be playing for cup final places, because Tuchel will drop players if they do all that sort of thing. We're still having one or two technical difficulties, but we will be back with you live in a second and get back to the commentary. But what I can tell you is that we've got a real good news coming out of the turf at the moment. 1-0 it is to Burnley. Just to remind you elsewhere, it's 2-2 in the Brighton game. And we've got still time left. Chelsea 0, West Ham 0 is the other score. Liverpool, of course, 4:30 kickoff. We're still having one or two technical difficulties yet again. It's getting beyond a joke now, to be quite honest. They're giving me the wrong stream here, the tech boys. They're giving me the wrong game. But we'll get back in a second or two. So just bear with us. Just bear with us here on the TC Hub. But I can tell you that Burnley are not far away now from a huge and important victory here in the quest to get out of the relegation zone. It's a place they would love to be out of now come this time tonight. And they are looking like doing so. Burnley 1. And we're having one or two technical difficulties. We're having real problems here. So I'm just going to go back again just for a second or two to Russ while we get things sorted out.
Thank you, JB. Vidra's just come off for Aaron Lennon as Moutinho just knocks the ball into Connor Cody. Now he's sized another ball forward, looking for the run there of Neto down that left-hand side for Wolves as they try to come forward, as Wolves trying to get that all-important equaliser. We'll get back to JB once we get things sorted. Here's Willie Bolly. Now into Connor Cody. And Cody will find Bolly once more. And now here's Semedo. Lovely turn from Nelson Semedo there. And Semedo will play the ball forward into the path of Raul Jimenez. But the flag is raised, and he is offside. There is the Wolves forward. Wolves are trailing in this game, and there was a definite offside against Raul Jimenez as we just losing, as we try and keep it up to date with what is happening in the game at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Burnley 1, Wolves 0, should I say. You see Burnley outside the relegation zone now by 2 points. They're 2 points behind Leeds United. So Leeds will need a win against Crystal Palace tomorrow. As I've always over on our far side, trying to pick out Neto or Wolves as they come forward, and they'll try and be able to copy out anyone in the box as Wolves can get as Burnley managed to get the ball clear. And now we've really bully, and Burnley will have some defending to do if Wolves can get forward. Here's Connor Cody, inside it goes. Push down there is Neto, sorry, by Brownhill. And Brownhill commits a free kick. As Wolves win a free kick, as they will try and get forward and get Nico as a side. Will just play the ball round well as Wolves will try and get back in this game at Turf Moor to try and salvage a point. Kieran Riley, the big Wolves fan, part of the channel, please listen when I'll be happy to either his side or trailing to Burnley this afternoon. This is Eagles to Cork as Burnley will try and come forward, and that's Aaron Lennon now. Lennon goes inside. News we nearly to Lennon. Lennon down the penalty and the shot is blocked. The former Leedsman shot is blocked. And Wolves get the ball clear. But only as far. Now as Charlie Taylor puts the ball back in from Ashley Barnes. Played it back to him. And that's how it is. Dominic chases down. Johnny Cash Water and wins the ball back. Well off Water. And now down the line it goes. Colin Roberts. Twisting, turning, pushes over his man. But no free kicks given as Wolves come away with possession. Up towards halfway. Lovely turn there from Raul Jimenez. Winning against Tarkovsky as he turns past Collins. And Collins comes back well. And Wayne gets the ball back to Nick Pope. And we'll be heading back to JB in a second. But that was a bit of play there from Collins to get the ball back. It's Taylor will not get the ball forward. Pushed in the back there, Taylor. And Anthony Taylor gives a free kick for the foul on Charlie Taylor. Come to us, 76 minutes gone. With Burnley 1, Wolves 0. Back to JB.
Thank you very much, Russ. We're back again, live from Turf Moor. Thank you, Russ, for filling in for a few more seconds. Burnley, hopefully now will stay properly with the game now till the end with me. Here's McNeil now, into the penalty area he goes. McNeil, Vigors is forward, Vigors shoots, and he deflects for a corner to Burnley. And now they've got their tails up with 13 minutes to go. Can they get that second and crucial goal, which will take them, as I say, 2 points ahead of Everton, who have to play in that Mersey derby later on. Lovely ball from McNeil. Vigors shot. It was a good block from Willie Bolly, actually. Because if that goes in, it's game over as far as I'm concerned. So Burnley are doing their end of the bargain, and they're doing themselves no harm at all. The ball down at their end. Tarkovsky and Roberts both forward from the back. So too is Barnes. Cross comes in for McNeil. It's not a bad one. Robert Collins, got up. Lennon has come on as well. In all of that. Russell brought you up to speed with that substitution as well. The ball not forward. Bitter's come off, I think. Ball played in there towards Vigors. From Barnes is a little flick, and Vigors cut the shot all badly wrong, but it doesn't really matter. It's gone out for a goal kick, but Burnley now can have a little bit of respite for a couple of seconds and then just get back in defensive positions. Charlie Taylor in amongst all that's got himself a bucket of Anthony Taylor. And whilst I've been off the air, it's all been happening. But I can tell you that we've got a substitution for Wolves. Trincao is now on for Sice. It's been one of those hair and scary ones. That is for sure. We've had a game which is absolutely ebbed and flowed. It's been an absolute joy to watch, actually. It's been an absolute thriller to bring it to you live. As another Burnley player goes down on the edge of the area. Nothing doing, says Anthony Taylor. In comes Jack Court to win the next ball. Charlie Taylor now ambles down the left-hand side. Taylor's cross deflects. It will be a throw into Burnley. 79 minutes gone. Burnley 1, Wolves 0 in the Premier League. Vidra was off for Lennon. Russ has confirmed it. So, 1 goal in it. Burnley are out of the bottom 3 as things stand. Can they hold on and get 3 critical points? What a fillip it would be for them if they could do it. And what miracle, if it is to be the case, what an oracle Michael Jackson is doing. He certainly put the throw into this relegation dogfight without putting any bombs on the King of Pop. They'll be bouncing off the wall they'll be bouncing off the wall with a victory like this tonight, Burnley fans. But they're doing their end of the bargain, and that's all they can do, really. They can't dictate what might happen in the Merseyside derby a bit later on. And a little bit of a set-to there between Brownhill and a Wolves player. I can't tell who it is. But the one thing Burnley does not get involved with now is fisticuffs at this stage of the proceedings, because if they do, they're going to play into Wolves' hands. They do have a free kick, however, the Clarets, with 10 minutes to go, or throwing rather, the Clarets. The last thing Brownhill wants to do is get himself booked for no reason whatsoever, or reasons that he go on. And that's surely a foul. He's given it to Wolves. I can't believe that decision. Anthony Taylor has given a free kick to Wolves when Brownhill was clearly bundled over to the ground. What on earth made him decide to give a free kick against Brownhill when it was the other way round? I can't understand why he's a FIFA-approved referee, this Anthony Taylor. It's going to be another round of Taylor bashing here. Look at that, that's a clear foul on Brownhill. How is that not a Burnley free kick? That is bewildering to say the least from Anthony Taylor. No wonder the referees in this country are so appallingly bad. Anthony Taylor's just one of them, and that's offside, surely against Ashley Barnes, and it is. That I've no arguments with, but the argument that will be, should Burnley have had a free kick? That, to me, was a bewildering decision from Mr. Taylor. No wonder he's getting the irk from the Burnley fans. And the referee, who I've criticised at close quarters a lot in the last year, especially for his feeble handling of that Italy-Austria game last summer on the TC Hub, as Wang again tries to make something out of nothing. Raul Jimenez trying to make something that wasn't needed. There was there was no stamping going on there, surely. Mike Dean will have checked it on the VAR. I don't think there was a stamp. I think Raul Jimenez is trying to calm the referee. It isn't working. Burnley 1, Wolves 0. That's the important thing now, with 82 minutes gone now in this second half. And really, a game that's been tense. In fact, possible red card for violent conduct. Now, this could be, well, they are checking it on the VAR now. Was there a stamp from Tarkowski? I can't see anything there to suggest. And the referee is letting, there was nothing there. There was nothing clear and obvious about it. I don't understand why Mike Dean had to get involved. I think Jimenez was trying to con him. He was up and okay within 2 seconds. Some shocking officiating in the last 2 minutes from both Anthony Taylor and Mike Dean. Right, Burnley 1, Wolves 0. Let's just get back on with the action. Let's forget about these refereeing decisions. I'm sure everything will sort itself out in the fullness of time. What matters now is Burnley hold on to this lead. And if any Wolves fans are listening in, I'm not trying to be too Burnley biased, but they are my club, and I want to see them win this game. And I don't mean that any malice to any Wolves fans listening in. And of course, I'm going to choose a player of the match in a second or two. And it's going to be a hard task, because all 11 Burnley players and certain Wolves players have played really well today. But Burnley as a man, as a squad, if I could pick the whole Burnley 11, I would. But under the rules of the commentary hub, I can't. If only they let me allow a few rules to be broken, but they won't let me, so Russ would kill me for that anyway. So I've got to try and pick out a player of the match. It's going to be hard, but I've got a few in mind. I'll be making that in 5 minutes' time. Burnley 1, Wolves 0. Foul on Conor Roberts by Wang, who now should be in the book. He's been penalised 4 or 5 times for shoves like that. And you get people like Vidra who, for first offence, gets booking, and then you see Wang just push him over. That was nonchalant. And he should be in the book now. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Still Burnley 1, Wolves 0. 6 minutes plus injury time to play. Might be a decent chunk of that, knowing Fourth official, which incidentally is David Coote. Gary Bazic and Adam Nunn have had decent games, by the way. Here comes the kick from Pope. Long, high forward again into the stratosphere, looking for Barnes. He was taken out, but the referee said no. Here's Raul Jimenez. Burnley have got to be careful. And what about that for a good challenge there from Connor Roberts? He had to time that well. Wolves were getting in behind, but the danger isn't over yet. Wolves will get a throw in line with the 18-yard box. I think there's going to be a substitution here. Now, what's happening here? Yeah, it looks as if Kevin Long's going to come on. Looks as if Michael Jackson is going to sacrifice an attacker. And it looks like Kevin Long, the Irishman, one of the longest serving players at Burnley Football Club on the playing staff there, is going to come on. They're going to absolutely shut up shop now, it seems to me, for the remaining 5 minutes. So Wolves are going to come on strong towards the end. Burnley 1, Wolves 0 is the scoreline. One thing they need to do now is keep a clean sheet. If they keep a clean sheet, they go 2 points ahead of Everton with the Mersey derby to come. And the odds will favour a Liverpool victory in that. The ball comes in, it's headed out again. Burnley have brought everybody bar the dog back here. The ball knocked into the penalty area. Headed away there by Nathan Collins. And in fact, it's a Burnley free kick because Collins, there was an offside decision as it turned out, although Collins wasn't to know he got his header away either. The Burnley fans are, well, they're all smiles now. If they can hold on, they'll be in delirium. And so will I come the end of it. I might even make a TikTok about it. Who knows? But who knows? But it's been a terrific performance from Burnley this afternoon. It's been a crucial 3 points in all sorts of ways. Barnes now getting on the far side. It's Ashley Barnes now for Burnley. He's on over to Big Horse. He's got Lennon in the middle. If he can tee it back up for Lennon. Oh, he couldn't get in there, but it's a Burnley corner. Burnley corner, that'll suit them fine with 4 minutes to go. I'll choose the player of the match in a couple of minutes' time after this Burnley corner, but full marks to, of course. There may have been a suspicion of if the ball had gone in, they may have had to go back on the VAR and check for offside, but it is a corner. That would have been an interesting decision had that gone in the back of the net. That was touch and go whether Vigors was onside, you know. Here comes the corner into the penalty area. Vigors jumps. Tarkowski's there. Away by Cody. Out of his own penalty area. Lennon back into the mix once again. No offside again. It's Vigors shoots and he hits it down the goalkeeper's front. Barnes then takes it out of his hands. Clearly out of both his hands. Does knock the ball in the back of the net, but the goal will not count. I think he did have two hands on it, Jose Sarr, to be fair. Barnes complains, but let's have a look again. This is the finish. Now, he does have two hands at this point. In fact, yes, he does have it two. Well, he did have it in two hands. Barnes felt he had a chance to go for it. But he did clearly have two hands on the ball there, Jose Sarr. So I think that Anthony Taylor was correct to rule out the goal. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But that's the way Barnes plays. He plays on the edge, plays a little bit aggressively. Some may say a little bit too aggressively, maybe for certain players like him. But having said all that, Burnley are on charge now for a crucial 3 points here. It's Trinicale gets it out to the far side. It's Johnny Otto. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Wang, who should have easily been in the book by now, has got the ball now. It's Semedo who made. And here's Trinicale again. Burnley have brought everyone by the family dog back behind the ball. Shot comes in, deflects, header away, not far from Cork. Taylor gets him out of jail. Big Horse actually tries to shake off the defender, Bowie. Bowie gains possession. Matinho's there. Now Trinicale again. Trinicale will run it. Charlie Taylor. Two Burnley players doubling up, and the cross is poor, and it's straight in the arms of Nick Pope. Takes it, falls down, keeps hold of the ball. We'll waste a few more seconds within the rules of the game. What he's illegally allowed to do. But it looks as if, as we run out of time here at Turf Moor, that Matti Vidra's second goal of the season could well be the goal that gets Burnley, for the moment anyway, out of trouble. It's been a terrific score. Just to remind you, latest scores: Brighton 2, Southampton 2. Welbeck and Salisu for Brighton. Ward-Prowse with a brace for Southampton. Chelsea 0, West Ham 0. Jorginho was again, sadly, has missed a penalty in that one, and Dawson was sent off as well. Liverpool, Everton 4:30. They're still going on. We're still going on here. 30 seconds of normal time. Brownhill wins possession after snuffing out another Wolves attack. Vehicles goes over. Referee Taylor says play on. And Cody has to retrieve the situation, which will give Burnley a chance now to get in defensive positions and defend from the front. Barvic Horst, every Burnley player back inside their own half now, as we now are 10 seconds away from the 90 minutes. And all eyes will be on fourth official David Coote to find out how long there's going to be. Semedo now going down the right-hand channel, tries to whip Taylor. We've played 90 minutes. Ball into the penalty area. Pope thought about staying and coming at home. Shot comes in, it's straight down Pope's roads. We're going to have 4 added minutes, says David Coote. So the drama intensifies. Player of the match. And I've got to say, normally you would say Matty Vidra in these circumstances, but for his work rate in industry, and I've criticised him on more than 1 or 2 occasions in the past, but I've got to give the player of the match to Dwight McNeil. What a player he's been on that right-hand side. He's been a revelation on the right-hand side of midfield, and he's had a super match. And here's Lennon now going forward. Dwight McNeil's the player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. And I've been one of his biggest critics, but I have to say he's had a super match as the shot comes in from 50 yards with the goalkeeper completely out of his ground, and the ball is into the grass there. So just to confirm, player of the match is Dwight McNeil. What a match he's had. Terrific performance. Right, we're now played the 1 minute of the 4, and Wolves now looking for an equaliser, which will do their European ambitions a power of good. But at the moment, it's a damaging one for the European ambitions. Maybe Bruno Lage side have really put out the deck chairs and the sunglasses, maybe. They're not going to get relegated, that's for sure, but any chance of playing for a Conference League places, well, any chance of maybe a Europa place, possibly a Conference League place, may go by the wayside here this afternoon. But what a season they've had anyway. Didn't last too long in either of the cups. Anyway, the ball hit off the defender. Clearance by Roberts off a Wolves attacker, and it's by for a goal kick. But how big those 3 points are going to be for Burnley Football Club going forward now. They've got to go to Watford next weekend. I know a result like that, along with another Everton defeat, should they lose to Liverpool, of course, then the gap would then go to 5 points, and then Everton would be in desperate strife. And it may well come down to that clash which Burnley won a couple of weeks ago against Everton here. But 3 on wins on the spin. It could well be the first time it's happened this season. Wins at home have been very hard to come by for Burnley, certainly in the last couple of years. But they really look as if they found, unless something miraculous happens for Wolves in the last 2 minutes of stoppage time, it looks as if they found their strong jaw just at the right time. Maybe Alan Pace was right to maybe blow time on Dyche's tenure. Oh, misheaded from Gongwood. It's not going to cost Burnley anything because Nick Pope was there. The ball just kindly fell into his arms. Maybe the footballing gods are answering Burnley's plea here. Pope taking his time within the rules, and he'll kick out of his hands. Under pressure from a Wolves attacker. I think it might have been Raul Jimenez. Chested down by Barnes. Over on the right-hand side. Vikhorst takes it over. And now Barnes will run, and he'll get there. Only Lennon in the middle. Barnes will take it to the corners, and I think that's the wisest thing he could have done under the circumstances. 1 minute to go. Barnes is hit from behind by Willie Bowen. That should do it for Burnley with 50 seconds to go. Ashley Barnes is... In fact, I thought it was a Burnley 3 kick, and I think Wolves are trying to say it's a throw in. I think they've got a throw in. Wolves got a throw in. Oh, I can't believe that decision. I'm now, oh, well, really, that is childish from Neto. He's thrusted the ball into Barnes' chest, and in fact, Barnes has done nothing, and he's got a booking. Barnes has done absolutely nothing at all. And I'm sorry, Anthony Taylor, you've got that one wrong. How is Barnes going to be booked for that? I do not know. It was Neto who threw the ball in his face. I think that's disgusting from the Wolves man. But we're now seconds away. Let's forget all that. Burnley are seconds away from getting out of the bottom 3. That's the important thing. We play 4 minutes. Anthony Taylor is now at his own discretion. We're playing added time at the end of added time. Seconds remain. Lennon will retrieve the situation. He leaves it to Taylor. Taylor now runs down the left-hand side. I'm still looking at Anthony Taylor, and I'm looking if he's checking his watch at all. Ball back towards the goalkeeper. For 30 seconds in, and the referee called for time! Burnley have won it! They're running on 62 minutes from Matty Midra. Enough! And Burnley have done it. What a messiah that Michael Jackson really is. It's a thriller minute here at Burnley. Oh, my word. He might have the same name as the late King of Pop, but my word. Is Burnley's season going absolutely off the wall here to safety? Matty Vidra has done it. The 62nd minute, and that man, Michael Jackson. Oh, they'll be walking in the streets of Burnley tonight with this result. So will that man, Mattia Vidra. Oh, what a performance. The Burnley fans, Raptors won. I pulled the team off the field. They're going to get a standing ovation. Apparently, Barnes got booked for time racing. I still think it's a bit harsh, to be fair. But Burnley have done it. Vidra tapping out from 4 yards from a big horse cross. Low cross, cut back. And Burnley have done it. And it's only his second goal of the season, admittedly. But my goodness, they'll be moonwalking in the streets of Burnley tonight. What a result for Burnley, Russ. As I hand back to you for the remainder of this programme, Burnley have done it. Burnley won. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Get in there.
Thank you very much, JB, for his excellent commentary. Paul James said, awesome commentary, JB. As the full council is going to stand for Bridge as well, a 90th minute goal from Christian Pulisic, set up by Marcus Alonso, has won it for Chelsea against West Ham United. The game is still being played between Brighton and Southampton. It is 2-2 there. Welbeck and Salisu put Brighton 2-0 up for Ward-Prowse on 45 plus 4 and Ward-Prowse on 54th minute. 32 round. Pascal Gross had a goal himself for offside. The 78th minute. That game is still being played, coming up towards the end of that match now. That game is just the second finish. It finishes the 2-2 draw, so the early kickoff in the Premier League, just to tell you before we finish the programme. Brighton 2, Southampton 2. Burnley 1, Wolves 0, as you just did with JB. Chelsea 1, West Ham United 0. Jorginho missing a penalty for a late goal from Christian Pulisic. Liverpool Everton to come at 4:30. In the Women's Super League, Man City 4, Leicester 0. Reading 1, West Ham 2. These are the latest scores into stoppage time for those first two. In the other one, which is currently taking place right now in the USL, it is Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. Chelsea down to 10 men in that one in the game this afternoon. Aston Villa v Man United is a 6 o'clock kickoff. Everton v Arsenal, quarter-way kickoff in the Women's Super League. In the Women's Championship, earlier results of Blackburn 0, Charlton 3, Durham 3, Sunderland 0, Liverpool 6, Sheffield United 1, Coventry United 1, Lewes 0, Crystal Palace 2, Watford 1, half-time scores Bristol City 1, London City Lionesses 3. The Champions League semi-final first day between Lyon and Paris Saint-Germain will kick off in around about 3 minutes' time. We'll keep you up to date with that one during our coverage of Liverpool v Everton. In the French League A, it finished Rennes 5, Lorient 0, Clermont 2, Angers 2, Metz 0, Best 1, Nantes 5, Bordeaux 3, and what has turned out to be a thriller. Nice 1, Troyes 0. Couple more 2 games later, Lyon v Strasbourg 5-4, and Reims against Marseille quarter-weight. In the Bundesliga, Bochum 0, Augsburg 2 with 20 minutes left to go. Later, Berlin v Stuttgart is a 4:30 p.m. kickoff. In the Italian Serie A, Salernitana 2, Fiorentina 1, Bologna 2, Udinese 2, Empoli 3, Napoli 2. Dutch Eredivisie, Willemsveer 1, Vitesse 0, Feyenoord 2, Utrecht 1, Groningen 0, Hercules 1, and in the latest score is Fortuna Sittard 0, Eagles 0. In the Russian Premier League, just tell you about Kazan 1, Arsenal 0, Kimikin 4, Samara 1, FK Rostov 1, Sparta Moscow 1, and the Moscow Derby, CSK Moscow versus Dynamo Moscow. That's at 5:30 p.m. off UK time. The Scottish Championship, 71 minutes gone. It is currently Ross County 0, Celtic 1, Dundee United 1, Arcs 1. One game in La Liga later, Barcelona v Connor at 8 o'clock. In the Swedish Allsvenskan, he finished Stockholm 1, Djurgården 0, Valsberg 0, Jarbe 0. Helsingborg v Aachen is a 4:30 kickoff as well. Just to remind you from the earlier scores in the MLS in the middle of the night, DC United 3, New Revolution 2, Austin 3, Vancouver Whitecaps 0, Sporting Kansas City 0, Columbus Crew 0, Colorado Rapids 0, Charlotte 0, Portland Timbers 0, Real Salt Lake 0, San Jose Earthquakes 4, Seattle Sounders 3, Los Angeles Galaxy 1, Nashville 0. Later, Inter Miami v Atlanta United, Orlando City New York Red Bulls, Cincinnati v Los Angeles FC, New York City against Toronto FC. We results for the Burnley game in the early kickoffs. With those, West Ham remains 7th, 2 points behind Manchester United. Chelsea move 5 points clear of Arsenal in 3rd in the Premier League table. Brighton sit in 11th, 41 points after their draw with Southampton, who move up to 13th with 40 points. Wolves remain 8th on 49 points after their defeat at Turf Moor against Burnley. Down at the bottom end of the table, Norwich bottom, Watford in 19th. Everton dropping to the bottom 3 ahead of the game at 4:30 against Liverpool, which can do with Paul James. Burnley outside the relegation zone now, 2 points behind Leeds United, who sit in 16th, 2 points above Everton in their zone. Leeds play tomorrow against Crystal Palace. Leeds, with a win, can move a point behind Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. So, without further ado, thank you for listening for this afternoon's match. I'll be back very, very soon with Paul James for the game in our 2 o'clock kickoff. It has finished. Burnley 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Thanks for myself and JB. See you again very soon for build up and coverage of Everton Merseyside derby trip to Anfield to take on Liverpool. From all the team here, goodbye for now.